Welcome back to my series, Dance Moms Uncovered. This isn't the first time that I've tried to research this topic, because it's quite difficult to make claims about a relationship and use evidence to back it up. However, you guys have been asking for me to uncover this, and I personally feel that Melissa and Mackenzie deserve for people to stop criticising their relationship. Because there was definitely more to their relationship than the producers cared to show. Feel free to share your thoughts on the following evidence. Firstly, let's explore whether Mackenzie knew her family was leaving Dance Moms. In Season 6, Episode 15, Melissa announces to her fellow Dance Moms cast members that the Zieglers will be leaving the show. Many people criticise Melissa because Maddie knew that they were leaving, but Mackenzie didn't. A lot of people, including myself, thought that it was unfair for Melissa to discuss such a big change with only one of her daughters. I mean, why would she let Mackenzie find out with everyone else without getting a heads up first? Well, according to Melissa in an interview, both Maddie and Mackenzie had approached her and told her that they didn't want to be on the show anymore. Melissa goes on to say that she agreed with them and that she felt the show was holding her daughters back from better opportunities.
And when they told me they didn't want to be on the show anymore, I was happy. I said, no problem.
Yeah, my sister and I were like,
They were finished.
Furthermore, Mackenzie herself has said that at this time she was getting itchy to move on from Dance Moms. So it seems that Mackenzie was involved somewhat in the decision to leave, but she didn't know when exactly they would be leaving. I wonder if perhaps a condition of the Zieglers leaving and breaking their contract mid-season could have been to not tell Mackenzie beforehand, because it would cause extra drama for the show. But this is just a theory. All that really matters is that Mackenzie wasn't left out of the decision completely. Next, let's look at when Abby entered Maddie's solo to beat Ava. In Season 4, Episode 26, Mackenzie, Tia and Sarah Hunt all had solos at Energy National Dance Competition. However, Ava's mother Jeanette decides to enter Ava to compete against the ALDC soloists. The show makes it look like Abby makes a last-minute decision to enter Maddie into the competition because she's afraid that Ava will beat her dancers. People accuse Melissa of supporting Abby and letting Maddie take away Mackenzie's opportunity to win. However, things were not quite as straightforward as they seem. As it turns out, according to the rules listed on the Energy website in 2014, there are strict rules prohibiting changes to the competition lineup or the addition of numbers being made on the day of the competition. The show makes it look like Abby decided to enter Maddie after Mackenzie, Tia and Ava danced. However, you can clearly see Maddie in her costume backstage before Mackenzie even performs. In fact, it probably wasn't even Abby who decided to enter Maddie into the competition. According to Gianna, the producers chose who does solos each week, so they probably chose Maddie to do a solo long before competition day.
A lot of times we don't pick the routines.
Right.
We don't pick the music. Like if so-and-so has a solo, it's because of whatever conflict happened the week before.
So it's not
much.
Abby, it's
No.
Lifetime doing the
I mean,
whole
like
thing. Okay.
Abby and I will push back here and there. And so we do push back sometimes, but we don't have that much say in what the routines are, in who's in the routines, who has solos for that week. It's a lot from production.
After all the unaired dances in Season 8, we know that the editors are perfectly capable of pretending that someone wasn't assigned to do a solo at the beginning of the week. After this episode aired, Melissa showed her support of Mackenzie on Twitter by agreeing that Mackenzie would have been perfectly capable to compete against 12-year-olds. Evidence number 3, Melissa defending Mackenzie. One way we see how much Melissa cares about Mackenzie is in the way she defends her from cyberbullying. Just to name a couple of instances, Melissa defended Mackenzie on an Instagram livestream when people were hating on a camera angle from Total Eclipse, where her leggings looked slightly see-through. She also defended her when people stirred up trouble at one of Mackenzie's book signings. And when Mackenzie was recently booed during her opening act for Pretty Much's FOMO tour, Melissa posted a quote about being kind on her Instagram account. There was a claim a while back that Melissa was more concerned about Maddie's social media than Mackenzie's because of this quote from an interview. I didn't interpret it this way at all. I think she's just saying that she was more concerned about Maddie's social media after she rose to fame than before her social media accounts really took off. After listening to Melissa on a podcast called Never Thought I'd Say This, I got the impression that she was actually more concerned and protective of Mackenzie than Maddie.
Anyway.
Well, my Maddie, who's 16, she really can care less about social media, and she's really good about it. She's like,
awesome.
I don't care. I'm like, she really doesn't.
Yeah.
And
I just wonder
Mackenzie
if
loves
it'll
it.
be like a thing that
I never worry about Maddie has a fake Snapchat because her Snapchat was hacked. She was so over it. They kept hacking. So she just has hers is just stupid face masks and stuff like that. Kenzie, I always worry about just because, just because she's Kenzie.
4. Mackenzie's book. There are a few quotes from Mackenzie's book, Kenzie's Rules for Life, that explain her experiences with favoritism while she was on the show. Mackenzie describes her mother as her biggest fan and shares this information. My mum always begged people not to compare us. She didn't think it was fair. And Maddie never once made me feel I had to compare myself to her. It was more the dance world and stuff people would say about us. Mackenzie also went on to share some advice that her mother had given her regarding how to handle the constant comparisons. My mum will always remind me that you have to celebrate your own achievements and victories, not get stuck thinking about someone else's and letting yourself feel overshadowed. Mackenzie suggests that Melissa is incredibly supportive of her. Lastly, let's look at when Mackenzie beat Maddie. This episode contains one of the most controversial scenes of the whole show. When Mackenzie beats Maddie in Season 5, Episode 23, Melissa admits to the mums that she doesn't think Mackenzie should have won because she looked like a 7-year-old on stage. This scene made me really upset for Mackenzie, but there may be more to it than we know. Abby claimed on Twitter that this wasn't exactly what Melissa was trying to say, and Melissa has said countless times that her words were twisted. When Melissa says that Mackenzie shouldn't have won, she replies to Jesselyn's question with the word no.
Do you honestly think that Kenzie should have beat Maddie today?
No.
She could have been saying no to another question that someone asked her at another point in the conversation. Lastly, we know that Melissa does indeed say that Mackenzie looked like a 7-year-old and that Maddie was fabulous.
Why would you say that?
Mackenzie looked like a 7-year-old on the stage, and she looked adorable and sweet. Maddie was fabulous.
Many people have said that no amount of editing could justify this statement, but let me raise a quick theory. Melissa could have been asked who she thought was given the more competitive choreography for this age category. Of course, this is just a theory, and Melissa has tried to remind people that there is no such thing as a perfect parent. And this does suggest that she might have said something that makes her feel a bit guilty. Obviously, I can't know for certain exactly how Melissa feels about her kids, nor do I see everything that goes on behind the scenes. But based on this evidence and what we already know about how far the producers and editors will go to create controversial storylines, I think Melissa is probably not as bad as she seems. So what do you guys think? Do you think Melissa prefers Maddie? Or do you think that it was all in the editing? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!